Alright everyone, are you ready to get perfectly close and personal with the Savage Wolverine? I know I am. I frickin' love this weapon.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound.
Light them up. No, get back. Gotta take this fucker out! The campus has taken position inside.
Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my 500k armor Bloodsucker Savage Wolverine build for TU7. Now this weapon hits like a truck and requires you to get close and personal for the buff, so I figured put it on a tank build for some nice easy face tanking. I hope you all enjoy and find this video helpful, and if you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, and feel free to drop a comment down there below. So let's get into this. Alright everyone, and here it is. As you can see, we have 9 reds, 11 blue, and 2 yellow. That's right, we got a couple yellows hanging on there just because I had a couple open mod slots I had to fill, so nothing too crazy for this skill build. But we do have 509,000 armor, which is pretty good, I'd have to say. Our health is pretty low with 28,000. We're definitely going to be relying on our armor for sure. And we have 96 skill power. Look at that, guys. We almost broke 100 on this build. That's like some kind of a record for me. But also, I want you to take a look up top. I'm going to be using the Survivalist specialization, mainly just because we get some protection from elites from it, as well as the handy dandy speedball that I call it here, aka the Healing Seeker, as well as some incendiary grenades. These incendiary grenades are pretty clutch for this build. If you can throw these into the lap of, a few NPCs, a handful of them, you burn them, you pause them, you can run up to them and get close and personal. As soon as you take one out, you get the weapon talent procced on there, and you can just mow them down from there, more or less. Makes your job very easy, so keep those in mind. So other than that, let's get on to these weapons. Alright everyone, are you ready to get perfectly close and personal with the Savage Wolverine? I know I am. I frickin' love this weapon. 21.2k per bullet base damage. I know that is pretty low compared to some of these builds that I've seen out there, but again, I am going more on the tank side of things. You got to keep that in mind, so that way we can get up close and personal, stay up close and personal, and just keep on mowing them down. We got 869 RPM, 50 in the mag, not too bad, and perfectly close and personal gives us the talent here where you kill a target within 10 meters, grants 50 weapon damage for 10 seconds. 50. I don't even know how that made it into the game. I hope they don't nerf this. This is amazing. I've been having a blast with it. But it's only for 10 seconds, so you are on a clock with it. But at the same time, you can drop some NPCs. You can definitely do some damage in 10 seconds. As well as this will proc again and again and again, as long as you have 5 or more reds on there. I mean, I love it. I love it. We also paired that with Allegro on this one with Stop, Drop, and Roll. I got lucky with this. I love this talent because it's like having hazard protection without having hazard protection. While equipped, rolling removes burn, bleed, and poison status effects can occur once a minute. Hey, pretty straightforward on that. I'm in on that one. Now, as far as the mods go, we have an optic that gives us that 8% damage to elites, the magazine plus 20 rounds, the underbarrel 5% crit chance, and the muzzle with 5% damage to elites. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is the difference between the Savage Wolverine and the Honey Badger, right? Essentially, they are the same weapon. Well, the difference is one mod slot. You get a barrel attachment for the Savage Wolverine, as on the Honey Badger, you do not, because on the Honey Badger, the real-life Honey Badger, it has a integrated suppressor in the barrel, on the barrel. It is part of the barrel, so you wouldn't be able to attach anything on the end. Somehow, they went around it on this one here, and the Savage Wolverine, you are able to do it, but I'm good with it. It's a game. Hey, let's have fun with it. Put some extra damage to elite, stability, whatever you want on there, and get to mowing down these NPCs up close and personal. Gotta love that there. Now, my secondary here is the Chatterbox. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this is. I'm simply using it for the holstered talent here. While holstered, reloading your weapon within 5 seconds after a kill grants 15% rate of fire for 10 seconds. And when you pair that with the weapon that already has Allegro on it, that's just nasty. It gets brutal real quick. I mean, that RPM kicks in. You definitely feel it, and it makes me smile. It definitely does. Now, as far as my sidearm goes, nothing special here. We have protected reload on it. That's essentially the only reason why I have it on here. While equipped, this weapon grants 10% bonus armor while reloading. So on top of Bloodsucker, we're just, when we reload, we get a little bit more armor on top of it, and we just keep on going. I'm loving this build, guys. I'm loving it. So let's get on to these gear pieces individually. Alright, so let's start out with the mask here. It is True Patriot. We have the 2-piece active giving us that plus 10% total armor. Gotta love that. The attributes on here are 55% damage to elites and health on a kill. I really wish that was just a flat health roll because we could really use it, but for some reason, whatever reason it is, True Patriot does not like to give out health rolls very often, or at all from what I've found. So if you can get a health roll with the big damage to elites on a True Patriot mask, hey, more power to you. I could not find one, and I've been trying for a while. I mean, I got a bunch in the stash. None of them have health on it. I mean, I don't know what the deal is. But regardless, we have an offensive mod down here that gives us that 1.5 weapon damage, 4% assault rifle damage, and 1% damage to armor. Now, onto the chest piece. Alright, so for the chest piece, it is Alp Summit. We have that plus 20% skill haste coming in just for wearing it, and that actually does help us out a lot because we have that very low skill power and we need our skills back as soon as possible, right? So this definitely comes into play. As well as with Alp Summit, everybody knows Alps drops huge rolls, no matter what you're looking for. Weapon damage, crit chance, armor, and if you can get a couple good ones and put them together like I did here, it works out pretty good. As you can see, we have 23.5% total armor on the chest here with a 36,000 armor roll on it already. That's going to push our armor up a lot. And although we are dropping some weapon damage, there's no weapon damage on the chest. Again, we're going more tank mode and being able to get up close and personal, stay up close and personal, and this will definitely help you do that for sure. Now, as far as Bloodsucker goes, depleting an enemy's armor adds a stack of 25% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Max stack is 6. So, when I have, 3-4 stacks of bonus armor, do the math on that, on top of 500,000. Oh boy. I mean, we are just running around face tanking everybody. It is amazing, and it again makes it that much easier to stay close and personal, keep proccing that on the weapon, and just nowadays I actually focus on the purples. I'll put it to you that way. I've been focusing on the purples just because they have that armor bar. Forget the reds. Get those purples, get the armor bar off, get this, bloodsucker going, and just go face tank. It's so fun. It's amazing. I love this build. Now moving on to the mods here. We have two defensive mods. 7900 armor, 1% health, 1.5 total armor. Our utility mod gives us a little bit skill power there, 44. We have some explosive damage and grenade damage. I figured, hey, if I can make something go boom and do that much more damage, hey, what the hell, right? It's just a little yellow mod. And we have a defensive mod down there as well that gives us another 7900 armor, 1% health, and 1.5 total armor. So on to the holster. Alright, so the holster here is also True Patriot. We have the attributes of 14.5% crit chance roll down there, not too bad, as well as another health on a kill roll. Again, what's up with that, guys? No health rolls on True Patriot. Regardless, moving on to the mods here, we have two mods, 1.5 weapon damage, 1% damage to armor, 4% assault rifle damage, and 0.5 weapon damage, 5 assault rifle damage, and, well, that rifle damage we don't really care about, right? So, moving on to the knees. Okay, so for the knees, they are Gila Guard. We have the two-piece active giving us that plus 5% total armor and plus 20% hazard protection. And that hazard protection actually does come into effect a little bit here since we have such low health, and status effects typically affect your health more or less. This will definitely help you out a lot. As well as that 12% total armor roll on there, and patience. This is probably my favorite talent that is going to be taken away. Let me know what your talent is of choice that is going to be gone in year 2. You got to remember, year 2, no more talents except for the chest piece and the backpack. If I could save one, it would be patience. I love this talent. It saved my ass so many times. I mean, I absolutely love it, and I'm truly sad that it's going to be gone in just a little bit here. After being covered for 5 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every 1 second. Oh, gotta love that. Just gotta love. I mean, straightforward, easy to use. Very, very effective. Now, as far as the mods go on here, we have two mods on here. Both are armor mods. They are identical. 7900 armor, 1% health, and 1.5% total armor. So, on to the gloves. Alright, the gloves that I'm going to be using are Fenris. We get that plus 10% assault rifle damage for using them. I really wish that 7% LMG damage was crit chance or something like that, but again, it is what it is. I got that 13% assault rifle damage on there, and that's mainly what I was focusing on, as well as devastating. Now, I normally would put hard hitting right here, okay, with the damage to elites, right? I have a pair down here, right here. We have a little bit of assault rifle damage on there with hard hitting. I typically would go with this, and as you can see, it actually boosts my armor up a little bit there. But I'm going with devastating simply because, again, in year 2, damage to elites is going to be removed completely. So I figured I'm just going to get in the groove now of more or less sticking with weapon damage, crit chance, and, with the talents and perks, things like that, and just trying to push damage that way instead of stacking the damage to elites. I do have damage to elites on the mask still. I'm not there yet. I'm not about to take that off yet, but regardless, it is what it is. That's why I'm going with devastating, and plus 5% weapon damage doesn't really hurt anyone, right? So let's move on to the backpack. Alright, so the backpack that I'm using is also Gila Guard. I have that 18.5% total armor roll on there, 3.5 weapon damage, and 6.5 crit chance. I'm sure you guys have seen this one before. Also, we have Spark and Hardened on here. I cannot get a better Gila bag. I've been farming Gila for like 3 days now, and I cannot get a bag even close to what I need. This is crazy. Hopefully year 2, the RNG will be a little bit better. But we have that Spark on there. That's another one of my favorite talents right here. Damaging enemies with skills or explosives grants 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. Pretty straightforward, very effective, very easy to proc. I love it. I love it. I hope they don't nerf that or take that away in year 2. Now, as far as Hardened goes, 15% armor on there. Gotta love that. Just pushing that armor up. And we have a utility and defensive mod. The utility mod gives us that little 52 skill power, 2.25% XP, weak point kills, since I do focus on weak points a lot. You should too. You should too. It'll make your life a lot easier, I promise you that. And a little bit more explosive damage. Now, in the defensive mod, again, 7900 armor, 1% health, and 1.5% total armor. So, all in all, that is the build right there. Again, as far as the skills that I'm going to be using, the striker drone to proc spark essentially, and it also kind of distracts NPCs a little bit. They turn around, they don't really pay attention to you, they focus more on this, and then you can run up behind them and get close and personal. I keep saying it, but hey, that's what we're trying to do, right? And again, the little speed ball here that heals us as we're moving, that is a great thing right there. And again, try out these incendiary grenades, throw them at a group of NPCs, pause them, and run up, get close and personal, and just mow them down. It's a blast. I'm telling you guys, try it out. So let's go on to the stat sheet before we go ahead and sign off. Alright everyone, so before we go ahead and sign off, let's just do a quick little recap breakdown here on the stat sheet. Again, the weapon talents that I'm going to be using: perfectly close and personal, Allegro, stop, drop, and roll. We also have Blabbermouth, we have protected reload, we got some explosive bolts. Hey, those are always effective as well too. Now we have some weapon damage on here, 21,100 per bullet base damage. 26% crit chance, so I got it over that 25 mark, so essentially 1 in 4 bullets is going to be a crit. Gotta love that there. Not too bad odds. As far as the damage, not too bad, not too good. 25%, 55% headshot damage, 35 range. Look at that. We can reach out and hit someone with this weapon. It's not like the Chameleon where it's only 15. You know, this is a big boy gun right here, I'm telling you. 2.4 reload time, not too bad. We don't have any accuracy stability, and we don't really need it all that much, to be honest with you. I feel like it's all good. We have 12% assault all weapon damage bonus, 51 assault rifle damage bonus up, so we're doing pretty good there. And we have 68% damage to elites. Again, to me, that is a big hit. I'm used to like at least 80-90%, and having this little under 70 it's a game changer for me. You definitely got to pick them headshots a little bit more. And again, in year 2, I think that's going to be a big thing. We also have 2% armor damage, just a little bit there. A little bit of explosive damage. We actually got 10%. That's actually not too bad. Now, as far as the gear talents go, we have Spark, Hardened, Bloodsucker, Devastating, and Patience. Overall, that seems to be a very good balance between damage and survivability. That's all I'm going for on this build. More or less, you know, be able to get up close, knock them down, and have enough armor to sustain yourself through that. That's all I'm going for right there. Now, as far as the brands go, again, 2-piece True Patriot, 2-piece Gila, 1-piece Alps, and 1-piece Fenris. Nothing too hard to go out and get, although the Alps chest piece and the Gila backpack might be a little bit tough to get. Again, like I said, that backpack is a pain, but once you get one, it will definitely be worth it. Now, as far as defense goes, we're at 509,000 armor. Our max health, 28,000. Health on a kill, 11,000. So our health regeneration, 14. 15% protection from elites right there. That's definitely going to help us out a little bit more on those yellow bars. And again, I think this might be a little bit of something that we might be speccing into more in year 2, since we don't have damage to elites. If they leave protection to elites from elites in here, you know, that's a big thing. And I've also done a build on that. I'll be having a card pop up probably right about now or something like that, and definitely check that one out. It's a fun one. Then we have some pulse resistance, hazard protection, bleed resistance, so on and so forth. And we pretty much already went over the skills, so we're good to go on that. And that is the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed, took something away from it, and I will see you on the next one. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my Bloodsucker Savage Wolverine build for TU7. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed and took something away from this video. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future content, and feel free to drop a comment down there below. And I will be catching you guys on the next one, agents. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you then. Later.